Okay, everybody. So, welcome back. This is Ian from Mindful Marketplace and a tiny book about.com, our new publishing platform, Tiny Books, Big Ideas. This is a question that has come up quite a bit in the conversations I've had with authors and entrepreneurs who are writing books and want to actually build an entire brand and business around books and courses and communities, etc. So, this is another one of our mini courses in our new cohort for 2024 called the Author Amplifier. And essentially, what I want to cover here is something that I think is really valuable for authors who are aspiring to migrate off of relying exclusively on Amazon to sell books, right? So you don't want to build your brand on somebody else's land exclusively. You don't want to be vulnerable to the sort of algorithmic eccentricities of Amazon to make or break your business. You want to have other irons in that proverbial fire. So, what we're going to cover here, again, this is something that has come up, via lots of questions, and I'm just going to try to streamline this into a 4 or 5 step process that really anybody can do, and I'm going to show you a live example. So, ostensibly, our goal here is to add a whole bunch of extra premium exclusive content to your audience to encourage them to sign up for a more interactive or immersive experience with you as the author and entrepreneur behind the book. Again, this is really largely only for nonfiction authors, folks who are writing books for business or are trying to use a book to promote any sort of business that you can imagine. We've covered, all the different ways of doing this in other videos, so I'm not going to do this here. This would actually, someone I had a conversation with yesterday, who's a fiction author who is really kind of interested in this process as well. And I can see how this would be really, I was actually very excited about this. It's not my focus, so I can't really claim that this would work well for for fiction, for writing books that are not ostensibly to build a business. But I can see where if you're writing fiction, you can think of interesting ways of including this in your process as well. So number one, create a product or a membership, and a membership is distinct only insofar as it has a recurring kind of content or community or cohort sort of valence rather than just a one-off product. Either one of these ideas will work. Create a product or membership on something like Gumroad or Lemon Squeezy. Excuse me. You don't have to be tethered to either one of these. You can pick whatever platform that you want. For beginners, I recommend either of those two because they cost nothing. There's no code involved. There's no WordPress like plugins. You're just like kind of using the platform and paying, for a fee on transactions. All right, and you're using it for free. Number two, set the post-purchase action to forward to your video library. For an example, folks pay you for the content course or membership, and then they're redirected on purchase to the video training library. You can do this different ways on different platforms. Gumroad has like a straight redirect. Lemon Squeezy, for an example, has like a big button that you can set to redirect. But you're going to see an example of what this would look like in a second. Step number three, in this case, we're using Framer, which I really, really love, to actually build a library of video content that is exclusive to your audience. And I'm going to show you an example of that in a second. That's live now. That I'm actually iterating and improving on by dint of duplicating this template and just changing up videos like the one you're watching now for different niches, for different books, for different topics, etc. All right, this also works great for audio content as well. So a couple people in my community and myself as well, I don't like videos, like I like audios. I don't listen to or I don't watch many videos at all. People send me videos of stuff all the time. If it's more than a minute, I don't actually watch it. I prefer audio. So it's kind of ironic because I record a lot of videos, but the videos that I record generally are faceless. I do a lot of audio content, and I just prefer that style for myself, and from a consumption and a production standpoint, alike, right? I don't want to worry about what I look like, if I have bedhead, if I'm, what the office that I'm working in looks like. And I actually prefer podcasts, I prefer audiobooks, and I prefer content that I can consume on the go. I'm generally out and about in the world, walking, moving, and I have spielkas, as they say in Yiddish, which means I don't sit well. So I want to be able to, take my rear end on the go and be able to learn and consume content that way. All right. So this is ideal for that process. It's also great for audio courses, private podcasts, or supplemental Q&A, or ask me anything content that you can offer as an exclusive access point to your audience when they join a membership or buy even limited edition books, or a collection of your books, or a series of your books, etc. Ask me anything, and Q&A content is just a great way of engaging your audience and offering exclusivity using this style process. All right. For faceless audio content, like if you're really interested in this, what I recommend doing, and it shouldn't sound like creepy or weird, like faceless kind of sounds creepy to me. It's just like you're publishing private audio feeds on YouTube using automation, using technology. So how I do that is I use transistor.fm. I set all our podcasts, all the RSS feeds, I set to private so they're not discoverable. And then I sync my or our, contingent on what the content I'm recording is, whether it's for me or whether it's for a community that we do this for. And I sync the YouTube channel to the Transistor feed. And then every time I add new content to that Transistor feed, so an audio that could be 60 seconds, 90 seconds, 90 minutes, it doesn't matter. Maybe it does matter. Maybe 90 minutes does matter. But short, up to 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 minutes, you can add that content to Transistor very easily, and it'll publish that to the YouTube feed or the YouTube channel that you set to sync with that respective podcast. So you can do this over and over again with 10, 20 podcasts. That's the benefit of using Transistor. The only problem with this, for those of you on a real bootstrap budget, you do have to pay for, it's like their second up tier and above that allows you to do this. They're like very base. Paid tier does not permit you to do this. I think we pay $49 a month, and it does, and it's well worth it. So you're actually taking audio and publishing it to Transistor, which is then syncing it to your YouTube channel. The only thing you need to do is add a different, cover image for each video, and that's not even necessary, but it's recommended simply so folks can see a visual difference, in each one of the videos that you're publishing this way. And you also want to set, preferably, the videos to be unlisted on YouTube, so that you're maintaining this exclusivity and premium content for your audience. I mean, I've had stuff that I've posted that's publicly available on YouTube, that's also in a course community, and I still do that, quite often. And I've had people say to me, this is like the best. I love this. It's fantastic. I've learned so much. But I also noticed this is free on YouTube, on your main channel. Therefore, can I get my money back? And you're just kind of like, okay, sure. So someone's actually telling you they love your content, but because it's actually also available, publicly, that they feel for the $20 they spent, that they could have just watched it for free. And I've literally had 2 or 3 people ask for a refund, in my years of doing this altogether, from anything I've sold. And at least, I think, if not all 2 or 3, I think at least most of those have been because something has been available online. for free. So you do want to set that stuff to be unlisted to protect yourself from that complaint. All right, so they feel like they're actually getting, something that's exclusive rather than available to the whole world, and they paid for it and other people didn't. Although I will also say there are lots of other things that you can do with that content. Like what I do now is just offer all kinds of extra access, extra bonus content, extra access to me, Q&A, ask me anything, email access, all that stuff. So you are using the same publicly available video streams, but you're also giving people such a shit ton of extra content and extra access to you that it's well worth it, even if it's available to the rest of the world for free. Okay, guys, and one last thing I forgot to actually include in that video, so I'm actually adding a little extra clip here. This is what the video library that folks get for that one particular course. This is what they get after they've hit purchase. So they get redirected to a Framer template or a Framer video. It's not template, it's a site that I'm using a template for that really does a great job of organizing and structuring, sequential content in a very cool and creative way. It's very easy to use, and it just makes like creating all these really highly organized by content and category, sort of sequential pieces of content really, really easy. This is actually the Framer theme that I use, and I just make like a ton of copies of this, and then I just continue, to iterate on, different sites that were using the same approach. So, something for a tinybook.com, that community would have a different set of videos than something like this would, and et cetera, et cetera. We just continue. You can see this. I mean, all these are courses that are Book LMS, Course LMS, Theralist courses. These are all video, sort of libraries just like this one for different niches, different target markets, different communities, et cetera, et cetera. And then just to copy this, I would just go into this and then you duplicate it. And then I'm just changing the videos. So it really streamlines the process of being able to offer these video oriented, kind of library centric content in a very appealing, visually, aesthetically, kind of it just a beautiful way. I can say that because I didn't design it, someone else designed it, and I'm just using the template and the theme by dint of having purchased it. So anyway, I wanted to show that piece. This is what folks will be getting after they, buy or sign up for your list or whatever it is. And it's just a really effective way of delivering, great looking, video content in a very organized way. Let's look at this here. You can see this is just a different version of this, for a different, this is actually more the template itself. Okie doke. Hopefully that's been helpful for you. Hopefully you have a sense now of how to do this for yourself. And if you have questions, as always, feel free to ask. Teach what you know, do what you love, wake up the world with your work. I appreciate you. I appreciate you listening. And as always, have a wonderful day. Thanks.